we are, working retreat. Say hi, everyone. Hey. Got a nice fire behind us. We're up here in the mountains today. Wanted to put some videos together while we are all together. This video is about supervision and this assumption that we should ask supervisors everything and that supervisors have all the answers. So who wants to elaborate on what this is about, what we're noticing? Stop it.
I think it's important to keep in mind that as a supervisor, you need to have some kind of model that you're following. It's not just a way for you to give advice to people. Like, you're mentoring, but you're also helping somebody grow in their profession. Mm-hmm. So I tend to have a very collaborative model, a very developmental model of, you know, here's kind of a starting phase, a middle phase, and an end phase. By the starting phase, yes, much more, you know, interventions and things going on. By the end phase, more, I'm kind of like teaching you how to do it on your own with little interventions on my part.
Right. Yeah. So, Liana, you spoke to, like, there's this word gatekeeping that's kind of problematic. So I want you to speak to that, and then kind of ties into what Jen is doing, which we want people to think of scaffolding. Yeah. So, Alice, I'll have you talk about that if you're willing. Yeah. Liana, why is gatekeeping problematic?
Because when think about systems, when systems were built, we will be built with the idea of it was one culture dominating and dictating what is best for others. Globally, we're changing. So the idea that gatekeeping, such as I know best, I will decide if you come in from a marginalized minority, that doesn't feel right. And that is painful for us because we constantly get the message of you're doing it wrong when we work with different populations, when our videos, when our notes, everything is different about us. So there's no adaptation there. So the idea of gatekeeping keeps telling us that we don't belong, that we're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. So I'm suggesting, let's get rid of it. Not to delete it, we need to learn from it, but to reframe it to mentorship, collaboration, right, versus me dictating, I know more than you do.
Right. The power dynamic needs to shift. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Jen, you kind of shared this mentorship role. Alex, how would you define scaffolding for folks who don't know what this would look like?
I think when you are not allowing the client, the supervisee, to develop the skills to further grow and evolve, and you are constantly holding the information or saying that I'm the one that you have to do it my way or way, in other words, that is very limiting for the clinician because they're not able to get their autonomy and develop their critical thinking skills, and there's a sense of enabling and always have to come to you, and we do not want that. We want them to evolve, to grow, to become the best that they can be as eventually in the future competent clinicians and eventually supervisors. And we don't want them to just consistently come to us and rely on us only for the accurate or the right solution. I've been wrong as a person, as I'm a human, I'm not perfect. I've been wrong, I don't know what I don't know, and sometimes I have to, hey, I don't know, but let me figure it out. We'll get back to it. I'll find out, collaborating with other clinicians, you find out based on, and then let's bring the information together. It's not just me, my way, this is the way you have to do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's problematic because if one person can have the wrong answer, they could be out of touch.
Correct.
The power dynamic's not great. And in my mind, it doesn't really set people up for success on their own because now they go into like a solo private practice, sole person, right? If they don't have someone to bounce ideas off of or get consult from, we go from, I don't think for myself at all, ask my supervisor everything, and then move into, I'm doing this on my own. That's a very significant shift in my mind. So we're not a fan of the gatekeeping model when it comes to power and control. One person's the expert, one person has no say. Like, that's not any of our vibe. I think it's for all of us. So we invite you to think about scaffolding. Literally think of a building being built. The scaffolding is the shell of framework that comes up around it. So as it's being built, it's kind of supporting and securing you. And eventually it's taken away. That is what I think all of us are aspiring to do with clinical supervision. Is not, let me tell you all the right answers, let me not have you think for yourself. Right. It is truly support, and then eventually they don't need it anymore because they can stand alone at that building. So I wrote a blog about this. I'll put included here in this video because we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now as a group. Hopefully this resonates with all of you. Shoot us some comments below. Let us know what your thoughts are, how this shows up in your supervision practice, knowing that each of us have our own style. But we do invite you to have some curiosity around scaffolding and also some critical thinking around gatekeeping and the issues that brings. We'll see you in future videos. See you next time.
Thank you.